have an interview today. Okay, so I wanted to give you a little update. I have an interview today in about less than an hour, and this is for company C. I cleared their case study round, and then I just had like a 30-minute call with the client with whom I would be working with, and now there's this last interview round. It should be no big deal because it's not technical, but there's a itusa catch, which is that it's in Japanese, and I do not speak Japanese. I mean, I speak a little bit, for company B, they gave me an offer but without visa sponsorship. I think I mentioned that. So I've been working as a freelancer for them. The people are nice, the projects are nice, and even if this opportunity doesn't work out, I think I'll have something. So that's a safety net, but I'm very close to going back, I don't have a visa sponsorship, and we're not gonna think about that at the moment. So yeah, wish me luck, and I'm gonna update you after the interview. Okay. Okay, so the interview got over, and then I had a change of clothes. It did not go well. How do I put it? From the very beginning, it started, they were convinced that I could not do the job. The interview was about 30 minutes, and for 20 minutes that's what they kept asking. There were 3 people, and one of them was Japanese, and then the other 2 were non-Japanese. So the interview was mostly in English, and it wasn't really like a behavioral round. It was more like them trying to see if I have the experience or not, and they were really focused on selling a product, and they were focused on selling hardware, and they said, you don't have experience in that. And I said, I have experience in selling software, I have experience in working with different clients from different countries, and even in Japan I have experience working with Japanese market. But they weren't convinced, and then they said that they want somebody who can analyze the data, take care of the databases, generate reports. And then I said, that's exactly what I did in my previous job. I mean, I didn't say that, but on the lines of this. And so it's like, no matter what I said, they weren't convinced. And then I knew that I'm not getting it. So in the end, when they say, oh, do you have any questions? And then I said, people have talked about this project in the previous interview rounds, can you elaborate more about it? And then he just stared at me and he's like, that's a very broad question. And then I said, yeah, I mean specifically to the Japanese market. I know that you're facing some challenges, so what is the goal that you're trying to achieve, so that I have a better idea. And then he laughed at the question that I had asked in front of my face. And then he said something, I didn't really care, and I had 2 more questions, but I didn't want to waste my time. I don't think I deserve that. So I just said, I don't have any questions, that's it from my end, so if you have anything else you can ask me. And then I said no. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not waiting for the feedback. Even if I do get this job, I don't want to join such a company. Hi, I think I want to change, and I'm gonna get a haircut and a hair color today. I am thinking of, I'll put my inspiration somewhere here, but I'm thinking of getting cotton bangs and also some face framing layers. Get these trim a little bit, and also get a cocoa red or like a cherry color. What do we think? I think I like it. Okay guys, I'm going for an interview. Today is the first interview round for another company. It's also a startup in Japan, and they've called me for an on-site interview for the position of machine learning engineer. Okay, I'm nervous, let's go. Okay, so I just came back and I think the interview went okay. I honestly have no idea. So, the interview was divided into three parts. It was technical. The first part, they asked me about the projects and the companies I've worked for. They were mostly looking for computer vision projects. The second part was where they asked me deep learning and machine learning questions and some scenario based questions of what would you do if you were to encounter, for instance, overfitting. And then the last 30 minutes were to solve a Python coding problem and to optimize it and give its time complexity and space complexity. So, I think for the first part, it wasn't very close to what they were looking for. They were looking for somebody who's worked with deep learning models and actually worked with the architectures. Apart from that, I think the second and the third part went well. I was able to answer most of the machine learning questions. They were pretty basic and standard. For the last part, they asked me to they had a list of dictionaries and each dictionary would have something called a score. We had to return a list of dictionary where the score exceeded a certain threshold. It seemed very simple, so I started with a linear solution with linear time complexity and linear space complexity as well, and then they asked me to optimize it to kind of reduce the time complexity and do it in constant space. Overall, I proposed 3 solutions in the period of 30 minutes and I was able to code all 3 of them, and at last they said that yeah, they could see that working, so I think it went well. Apart from that, my only concern is that they mentioned if I clear this interview it's going to take 2 to 3 weeks more, and I only have 1 month left as of today, so I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. Fingers crossed, and I'll keep you updated.